The police are hosting an Imbizo for men in Khayelitsha on the Cape Flats to address gender-based violence. The event is mainly attended by men from Harare, Lingulethu West and Site B communities, areas where some of the highest cases of gender-based violence have been reported. Police Minister Bheki Cele, Provincial Commissioner Thembisile Patekile and Provincial Minister of Community Safety and Police Oversight Reagen Allen are among those in attendance. Let's get more on the story with SABC News reporter Vanessa Poonah, who's standing by for us in Khayelitsha. A very good afternoon to you, Vanessa. Take us through what's happened so far.
Yes, good afternoon to you. And the Desmond Tutu Hall here in Makazi and Khayelitsha is filled to capacity today. Mostly attendees are from the surrounding areas of Site B in Khayelitsha as well as Makazi, etc. And according to Police Commissioner here in the Western Cape, Patekile, saying that these areas have some of the highest reported cases of gender-based violence. Now, at a previous summit, there were calls for an Imbizo of this nature to take place to speak about about men, and in most cases they being, of course, the perpetrators of gender-based violence. But also what we've heard from some of the NGOs and other stakeholders here today is that oftentimes men themselves have no outlet, and often this translates into violence in the homes, in the schools, etc. But joining me now to speak about today's engagement is the chairperson of the Khayelitsha Development Forum, Nditini Tiedo. A very warm good day to you, sir. We've heard from some of the men inside just highlighting some of the issues directed to the police minister, to the other enforcement agencies present here today. Let's talk about the need for an Imbizo of this nature, specifically here in Khayelitsha, where there are indeed high rates. I mean, some of the stations are consistently on the top 30 stations for crime. Let's talk about what exactly is hoped by this Imbizo. Yourself as a resident, as a business person, representing the business community of Khayelitsha, what is hoped will come out of this Imbizo and this talk here today?
Thank you very much, Vanessa. The real hope, the hope here is to speak to the conscience of the men. Because of the nature of the crime of gender-based violence, in most instances it happens inside the homes. So it can be difficult for police to police in people's bedrooms and in people's houses. So the whole point here is for men to talk to men, to share the men their frustrations and how they understand the situation can be addressed. And we were very grateful to the police minister, Minister Bheki Cele, for coming here. Vanessa, the whole thing is to talk to each other's conscience as men. If for whatever reason, I myself as the chair of the KDF, if for whatever reason I've abused somebody, I just simply apologize on behalf of all the other men, because the thing cannot be left to chance. We cannot just allow it to continue perpetually, because the statistics points us to a situation where only when an incident has been reported can be recorded on the stats. But we're talking about those also that are not even on those stats. So what we're trying to do is really try and demobilize the men against gender-based violence and mobilize men to be activists against that.
We hear some people talking, saying to the police minister that resources remain a problem. Some calling for designated GBV desks and units within each police station. Is this possible? Is this something that you are calling for as an organisation? What would you like to see more happening from the police side? I know you're talking about conversations we should have in the home, in the churches, in the schools, etc. From a policing point of view, where do you believe there are still challenges and I suppose room for improvement, if one can call it that?
Vanessa, there will always be a need for extra policing in areas such as Khayelitsha, because there is no stagnation in terms of the numbers that is now a police officer to population ratio, because people, they will get new checks every day in, day out. New people are coming to the place. Yes, we do need specialized police interventions as it relates to these types of crimes, specifically on gender-based violence. We had conversations this morning with the Minister of Police, Minister Cele, about what else can be done. As you have your neighborhood watches for the general policing, you may still need to have those. You need a very activist community that is going to be responding to these things. Treat gender-based violence as a priority, like all the other crimes.
Thank you so much for speaking to me, of course, there. Nditini Tiedo, the chairperson of the Khayelitsha Development Forum, just talking to us about the interactions here today at the Imbizo. It's an Imbizo for men, by men, hosted by police, taking place here in Khayelitsha, and of course police telling us that they want to roll this kind of conversation out to various townships across the province in the months to come.
Vanessa, Poonah giving us an update there from the Western Cape. Thanks so much for that.